all are, from the safety of my own home in the one spot that I specifically cleaned for this stream. Don't look over there. I'm so excited to be with all of you today for the virtual premiere of Homecoming Season 2 with my girl, my sister from another mister, Janelle Monáe, and I even have a decorated mug. I mean, the commitment here is strong. I'm so excited to be doing this. I've been friends with Janelle for a hot minute. She's been so supportive of everything I've done. She always spreads that girl love, and I think she's phenomenally talented, and so is the rest of the crew and cast. So let's dive right into this. The cast is here. Let's do some introductions. How's everyone doing?
Very well, thank you. Good to see you.
I had Skittles for breakfast, so this is gonna be a lot of energy right here. If you haven't seen season 1, no worries. You can watch season 2 right now. We follow a new lead, Janelle Monáe, and unraveling the new mystery, a new story, everything. And then after you watch that, you'll probably want to go back and watch season 1 anyways, but you don't got to do it first, so don't stress. So are you guys all safe at home, quarantining right now?
Yeah, I don't know what day it is, what time it is, what alternate universe we're all in. How about you guys? I have no sense of reality right now.
Very much the same.
Like,
we have really
I
taken.
feel like I'm in Homecoming.
Seriously, talk about art imitating life.
We've been hunkered down solid. Just the essentials, but I must say my yard and my flower beds and my pool is open, so I got to jump on spring cleaning.
Nice. Well, we're going to dive in about the new character you play, Jackie. But before that, I want to talk about some of the other characters here because I'm just so fascinated. Stephan, how's it going? How you feeling?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. You're a returning character. So we're excited to have you here. How was the experience of returning in a quick summary?
It's been a dream. Honestly, it's been a dream. You know, when you came on to Homecoming, I had only signed on for 1 season. And so to hear that they wanted me to come back, I was elated. You know, I felt like there was so much that I wanted to do as far as tying up the loose ends with Walter. So I couldn't be happier to be back and be back with all these incredible people.
Absolutely. Speaking of incredible people, Hong Chau, who plays returning character Audrey Temple, talk to me. The excitement. How you feeling?
It's great. I it's so good. I signed on to season 1 with the idea that my character Audrey Temple would come back in season 2 as a much larger character. So I was really flying blind in that first season. I didn't know much about the character. I don't think the writers did actually either. So I'm glad that we answered a lot of questions and I got to really have some meaty things to play with in the second season.
Sweet. I love it. And we have a new character in Leonard Geist, who is none other than Chris Cooper. What was the experience like being the first one?
Could have been any better. You know, the character of Leonard Geist, they said they were going to introduce this, new character, and Julia wasn't going to be on board for the, second season. And I looked at that first season, there's so much to like.
Well, I don't know what time it is where you are. Where I am, it's still a little early, but it's never too early for cocktails. So let's throw to the cocktail bandits, Johnny and Nneka, to make us a drink to kick things off.
Hey.
Hello.
I'm Johnny. Hi. And I'm Tanika Reeves. We are the Cocktail Bandits, the curly ladies who talk cocktails every day.
Yes, and we are so excited to be a part of the season 2 premiere of Homecoming with you guys.
Absolutely. And so we're going to go ahead and jump into these cocktails because we've been so excited to make them for y'all. So the very first cocktail is called Berry Reminiscent. It's made with blueberries, and blueberries are said to be very good for your memory. So the first thing that we're going to do is put in our berries.
Fresh blueberries if possible. I know you guys have been going to the store and stuff. Get your freshest ingredients as possible.
All right.
Muddle it up.
Muddle it up. Just to break down all those flavors. All right.
And now we're going to add some citrus. We're using lime juice. It's going to add some nice brightness to the cocktail. So we're going to use 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice today.
One of the stars of our cocktail, freshly juiced blueberries. We're going to do 1 ounce of that.
Then we're going to add some simple syrup. It's really easy to make. You just take a cup of sugar and a cup of water. You stir it around in a glass until the sugar dissolves, and then you have simple syrup that you can use to sweeten your cocktails. We're using 1 ounce today, and you can store your simple syrup for up to 2 weeks in your refrigerator to make more drinks at home.
Yes. And the superstar of our cocktail is vodka. We're going to do 2 ounces of vodka. Add our ice.
There we go. Ice it down. Ice is so important in a cocktail.
Okay. And now we shake. Then we're going to pour those contents in the glass.
Great color on that cocktail.
We're going to put some mint in there. Going to add a blueberry and then a lime wedge. And there you have it.
Oh, wow.
The very reminiscent. Here.
Thank you so much. That was incredible. I mean, I learned that you add vodka to things and not things to a bottle of vodka. That's the first time I've ever seen that. So that's very good.
That's right. Yes.
I have them right now. And just a reminder to you watching at home, but of course you can have some fun with cocktails and make these at home as you enjoy season 2 of Homecoming as well. Join in the fun. Also, let's check out the trailer for season 2 while we sip on this glass of vodka.
I had mine already waiting.
Everything all right, miss?
What's your name?
I don't know. I knew something was wrong with me, but I couldn't explain it to anyone. It was like the people around me were keeping a secret, like we were in a movie, and everyone knew we were in a movie except for me. If I did something wrong, I have no idea what it is.
It was hard for me to come down here, okay? There's no one I can... It's hard for me to talk about this.
I'm sorry.
Jesus.
What are you into here?
I don't know.
You better think.
Trying to think.
This is all critical military technology.
You need to do what you think is right, but you must protect yourself, because nobody else will. If you keep picking at this, it's gonna start bleeding.
Trailer looks amazing. I have to ask, how do you feel watching that trailer? Because you obviously know the story. You were there during the season, but does it feel brand new or exciting all over again when you watch the trailer?
I definitely want to see what happens. Yeah.
Me too. Yeah. I'm a fan. I mean, I'm a fan. I was a fan of season 1. I'm surely a fan of season 2. And I said, you know, when I was reading the scripts and the episodes, I said, if they can bring what I feel is special about season 1 over into season 2, it's a yes for me. And I feel like this season has exceeded my expectation.
So, you know, from being your friend, I know that you are such a busy woman. You are hustling, you are on the grind, you're always doing so many things. But what have you been up to during the time? How have you been spending your time?
Ooh, well, I mean, like I mentioned, I feel like I'm in a really, you know, bad science fiction film right now, and I'm ready for it to end. A lot of my work is rooted in that. I was just so close to, you know, some of the fears I had. I think really putting my focus in, like, and it's something that this show speaks about, what it means to be a good human and a citizen. So I've been trying to like figure out how to not be so upset over, you know, how this administration is handling this pandemic and how I can get creative and help. So I'm just trying to focus on being a good human. Like, what can I do? I can't do everything, but what can I do? Yeah.
Absolutely. Focus on what's in your control. And I think that is of top priority and so important in this time. So you're such a good human girl. This is why I'm your friend. Praise you. Bless you. I'm going to applaud you just for that. I got to ask everyone here. During quarantine, is there any newly developed plant moms and dads? Is anyone now a plant person?
Chris?
Anyone?
Yes, indeed. If I understand, we're growing our next bunch of stash on the deck here. But I'm very looking forward to the next crop, shall I say?
I love it. Going back to the show, Hong, talk to me a little bit about the excitement around the show. What have the fans been saying? Why do you think it watch the second season? What can they expect? You could tell the fans right now. What would you say to them?
I think that the first season was so well received, and I think the challenge in the second season was to meet at least that expectation, or that level of enthusiasm that we had in the first season. We had so many more locations, outdoor locations in the second season, so it felt very exciting and very run and gun.
So I'm going to ask the quite possibly the most important question of this entire thing right now, which is, talk to me, Stephan, about the must-have snacks while watching Homecoming season 2. Like, people are watching at home, trying to feel the atmosphere. We got our cocktails on deck. Some of us are, professional and put them in mugs. But what are the snacks? Talk to me through the experience here.
I'm going to go with something that I've taken a real liking to lately. That's cherry chip cupcakes.
Say what?
What?
Cherry chip cupcakes. I'm telling you, they'll change your life.
No, are you saying
something? Where can we get these?
Well, I've been baking it from scratch. Look up a recipe for cherry chip cupcakes. I'm learning a whole bunch of new things about myself during this quarantine. I'm a baker. So there you go. There you have it. Cherry chip cupcakes.
Thank you from scratch. Here we go. Now that you've got the snacks and we've talked about everything else, let's check out Janelle's character, Jackie. I want to show you all this clip. It is absolutely incredible. Enjoy.
Jackie is a woman who wakes up in a boat with no memory. So we spend a good amount of time going on her journey to self-discovery.
Do you remember what we were saying?
Why are you asking me?
Because I don't remember being here. And as soon as she thinks that she's uncovered the truth, here comes another lie. Similarities between me and Jackie. I would say that we both are pretty ambitious. I would also say that we are leaders. I value leadership, and I think she's a leader, and I think that she always wants to help people.
So I absolutely love that clip, and it seems to me that there are a lot of similarities between Jackie and Janelle. I feel like you're both leaders, and so I want to ask you, what drew you to this role and to this character?
This character is such a chameleon. Like Jackie, you think you know who she is, but she ends up proving you wrong every time. She's so smart, and it was really fun creating backstory for her, because it's like some of the decisions that Jackie makes, I wouldn't make as a human. Like, there's some questionable things that she does, but it makes you find yourself empathizing a little bit with, the why. What was her upbringing? Why is she so? Why is she the way she is? So, obviously, as an actor, I don't want to tell what the backstory was when I was creating, the why for her and what motivated her. But she was such a chameleon, being able to go into different characters, go into playing this ex-vet who wakes up, with no memory. It was super fun watching films that helped inspire her character. Like, a few of the films that I watched were the Jason Bourne identity films. It's like, when you wake up, how did I want to play her? Because I didn't want to play her one note where she was just disoriented the whole time. I also watched one of my favorite films, Memento, which deals with memory loss, in a movie with Nicole Kidman called Before I Go to Sleep, where she wakes up every morning and her husband has to put these sticky notes on her wall to remind her that she's married and I'm your husband. And so it was really great going deep into the mind of someone who was so mysterious, someone who is so kind of premeditated, someone who, is such a trickster.
Absolutely. I love that you did all the preparation of watching all those films and kind of gaining inspiration from other pieces of art. I think that's one of the most fascinating parts of the process, for sure, is when you can dive into other people's art, find inspiration, and create something brand new. That's so dope. I'm going to follow this up with a very millennial question to you, Stephan. If you had to choose an emoji to describe your character, which would it be?
Ooh, an emoji to describe my character. Ooh, I'd probably
I know you're
do.
all the ones where you're like, I shouldn't say that one, and I shouldn't say that one. That one's made.
Yeah,
Which is the one?
I think for this season, my character would be like. That's Walter this season.
Yeah, I want to check out some more because I think we have a clip with your character in it. Let's check it out.
Hi,
Name and ID.
Walter Cruz. I'm looking for my medical records. I am very excited about the new season of Homecoming. Walter sort of takes this 180 that's been really interesting for me to dive into as an actor. We see a much darker, cynical version of Walter, especially as he starts to understand everything that happened to him. A guy who doesn't trust anybody, and he's looking for revenge.
All right now.
Exactly, I told you.
Parallels between Jackie and Walter this season because they're both trying to, I guess, figure out what's happened to him and get to the bottom of it. Am I correct to say that?
Yeah, I think totally. You know, because of the interesting, sort of circumstance they found themselves in. They're both sort of on similar journeys where they're very, very curious. They don't know who to trust. So paranoia, I think, is a big deal with both Walter and Jackie. And they kind of figure out that they're going to need each other to get to their ultimate goals. So it's a weird love-hate sort of a relationship.
And how did you transition? How did you prepare for your character's transition into the new plotline? Did you do kind of what Janelle said, and did you find inspiration from other art? Or how did you prepare?
Yeah, absolutely. I think what was so interesting is, when I was preparing for season one, I got to speak to so many young veterans. And it was important to get sort of their testimony and not only, their lives while they were overseas and on the grounds, but to really gain an understanding of what their process was like coming back and their reacclimation into civilian life. And so there were so many different stories and things that I had learned about these young men. And I just figured that so often they're written off as statistics, like just a number. And if I could capture a level of humanity, and capture a level of that paranoia, that angst, some of the trials and tribulations that one may be faced with when trying to reacclimate themselves, then I was going to be doing Walter justice. So I think I brought a lot of that sort of back from my research from season one.
I love that so much. So, Hong, I want to talk to you for a second. I didn't forget about you. I know you're sipping on a cocktail over there, but you're up now, okay?
Oh, no. I'm sipping on Grady's cold brew with some oat milk, so I'm very lucid right now.
Okay, so it's only me drinking? That's cool. That's fine. Listen, I own who I am. I love who I am. I embrace who I am. You play Audrey, one of our returning characters. Before we dive into questions, I'd love to take a look at this clip. Let's check it out.
Strength and indifference. Strength and indifference.
Morning. Hi.
What's interesting about season 2 is that we're getting to learn more about Audrey Temple, her personal life, and seeing how that affects her behavior.
Hey, are you almost back?
We're traveling to different locations and we're seeing things outside of just the work environment. It's taking bigger swings in terms of opening up that world and that story.
Yes, queen! Yes, queen! So Audrey's character ended on kind of a cliffhanger at the ending of season 1. And without giving me spoilers away, okay, unless you want to spill the tea, but without giving too many spoilers away, what could this mean for her actions in the new season? For everyone that just has so much anticipation.
Yeah, that was a really big scene at the end of season 1. I was really surprised when I read it.
And then in doing the scene, I found it very, very difficult because I didn't know why my character was doing that or what was going to happen now. Seemed like such a big move. I mean, I think it was really satisfying for people to see the lowly assistant sort of pull the rug out from under her, boss, jerk of a boss. But when I was playing that scene, I really didn't know what was going on. And when I read the scripts for season 2, it threw me for a loop because I thought we were going to see Audrey go on this, that same trajectory where she would just really step into her power and just keep slaying people. And that isn't really the case in season 2. We see her really struggling with her decisions, and there's a different sort of challenge when you're playing somebody who's very unsure of themselves and unsure of how to go about things. So in season 2, Audrey Temple sort of has an angel and a devil sitting on her shoulders, sort of whispering different things to her, and we'll see how that turns out.
That's awesome. Another thing I'm so excited about is, Audrey's one of the characters that's kind of on the inside, working at Geist. But I think in season 2, we get to see a little bit of her 9-to-5 life a little bit. I mean, outside of that, we get to learn a little bit more. I think a layer that we haven't seen. So for you as an actress, what was that like to have this whole other part of your character?
Well, it was really nice because, sometimes you only get to play the wife or the girlfriend, or you're only seen in your workplace, and that's all it is. And this season, they gave me both, and that was just so nice to be able to have a work life and a private life for my character. And shooting it as well, because I think I worked with Chris and then also Joan Cusack for the first couple of weeks of filming. And then I got to work with Janelle and Stephan. And so it was really nice to have both of those things going. Like, okay, I've done my little my little dance with this group, and now I get to go over and play with this group. So I like variety.
And I kind of asked someone a question, but I'm always so curious to know is, when you read this role last season, what made you say yes to this character? I mean, what part of the character did you read and say, oh, that I think is very interesting, or that I'd be really proud of in this role?
Again, I didn't know very much about my character. The character of Audrey Temple does exist in the original podcast, but she's a very, very different version from the televised version of the character. In some ways, my character is similar to Julia Roberts' character in the first season, where she honestly feels like she could make a difference and that she could steer the company in a certain direction. And it really starts out with good intentions, I think. And she starts to realize that there are just bigger things working against good intentions.
So Janelle said she watched films, and then we also got an answer about research, about in terms of process and preparing for these roles. I'm waiting for one of y'all to give me a weird answer here. I want to hear, like, we did a sacrificial routine, we locked ourselves in a room for 72 hours. Like, tell me how you prepared for this role. Do any of you guys have any preparation methods?
I mean, no, well, I'll say this. I mean, I don't know if my castmates knew this, but the time that I started filming, I got a call from my doctor. I had changed my diet. I became a pescatarian, and I got a call from my doctor that mercury level, like I had acute mercury poisoning. So before I started filming, maybe a few days before, I had to go on chelation therapy. If you don't know, it affects your nervous system. A lot of my disorient, it affects your memory, it affects your coordination, it affects so much of, you don't know it until it's happening. So I didn't really have to act a lot with this character, because in my real life, I was very disoriented.
I love that you embraced it and said, well, this is the journey. And I can actually fact check this. While you were speaking, I went into my text. I vividly remember receiving this text from you. And I was like, what? And this is the text I got from Janelle. It just says, get your levels checked if you eat fish and shrimp a lot. Love you. So proud of you. And that was the text.
I sure did. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I was very concerned about my friends. I was like, I don't want anybody to go through this. This is not what you want.
Chris, I want to dive into your character, Leonard Geist. Let's check out this clip first, and then I got so many things to talk about.
Leonard, did you hear me?
I'm watching Airwolf. Gets me fired up. Here's the reality. It's my fucking company. And I'm gonna get up there and say whatever the fuck I want.
Chills. Talk
So
to me about, so
good.
you're kind of a plant dad on screen and off screen as well, which is kind of cool. Did you see a lot of yourself in this character, or what drew you to say yes to this role?
Yeah, I was going to say what Janelle brought, what Janelle applied to her characters is in the same respect for me. I mean, I go, what's the first thing you do? What's the first thing you bring? I believe is your life experience, what you can bring to these characters. And if you've had a military experience, well, you've got something to bring. If you have spent your life as a farmer or a rancher, you know, this stuff fits like a glove, and you don't have to beat yourself up as an actor to try and create something. Sometimes sometimes you have to dig deep, really deep with heavy research, and if nothing else, you got your life experience and your imagination. And so many aspects of Leonard Geist's being and his consciousness, what he intended, and how this material that he developed is being misused. I bought the whole character. I saw the first season, and like I said, there were so many aspects of it that I adored. This is if I was going to do a limited series, this is exactly what I wanted to do, something like this. And the character of Leonard Geist, which is introduced in this season, there's so much about this character that I believe, envy, respect. He started out with this cleansing detergents and soaps and cleansers as a business, and it exploded. And he's not a CEO type. He doesn't. He'd rather be in the fields with the hands, working and getting his hands dirty, and applying my life as a young man in farming and ranching and going through the military and all that business. It just goes hand in hand. And sometimes characters fit like a glove. I'll say that, and I'll stop.
Ooh, okay. Leave us on a little clanger there, like that. So like I was saying to anyone, if you're just joining us at home, you don't have to watch season 1 to enjoy season 2. It's a whole new mystery. If you had to summarize for people that are just joining us, what is the new mystery in Homecoming about? What would it be?
It's a good question. You know, from one of the oldest, probably the oldest character in this series, I would say there's a piece of Crosby, Stills and Nash, piece of music that I grew up with, and it was called Teach Your Children Well. And from Guy's standpoint, I think that piece of music, he would say a lot to the younger people.
Now, how would you summarize season 2?
Every time you think you're uncovering the truth, you're getting closer to a lie.
Woo! That's a tweet if I ever heard one. Now, without spoiling anything, okay, don't spill too much tea, but I want to ask each of you, what scene are you most excited for audiences to see when the series drops?
I'm excited for that last episode, and people will know what I mean by that. It's at the very end.
Same. It gives you chills.
So the consensus is that last scene? Yeah,
That's a pretty good scene. It's hard to argue that.
You know, of course, everything comes to a head at that last episode. It all comes together.
I'll say this: it still leaves us with questions, like what's next. You know, what's next for everybody, which I'm excited about. It makes you feel like this is a to be continued.
Okay, well, I'm sitting on the edge of my seat right now, but I know you can't give away too much. But let's say you had to describe that scene that you're referring to, that last episode you're saying, with one word. What would the word be, each of you? Without giving away too much, what's the word that describes that scene? Stephan, let's start with you.
I'm going to say juice.
Okay, Janelle, what about you?
The Last Supper.
Okay.
Ooh.
I'm going to say surrender.
I'm going to say another piece of music, Jimi Hendrix, Purple Haze.
Ooh, that's good. That was a good one, too.
Obviously, a lot of people are going to watch season 2 at home. Coming directly from you, the cast, how can people make the most of their homecoming watch party while staying home? You guys have any tips, any practices for a watch party that's a little more limited than usual?
Well, I'm going to add, I'm going to carry on and say, after I get my crop this year, I turn that stuff into brownies, and the edibles are pretty damn good. Very wonderful.
I love it, Chris.
That's an essential. That's a homecoming watch essential for sure.
Combine that with the cherry chip cupcakes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, your money. You can't lose. You can't lose.
This show is trippy. Like the music, everything, like you're going to have an experience going through the journey. It's such an outlier to me in the TV space. Like the shortness of the episodes, binge worthy. Like it's doing something that no TV show is doing it. And that's special. So I say pace yourself. Watch one episode every 2-3 days. That's me. Because once you're done, you're just done.
That's some next level of self-control that I simply do not contain. So
have some restraint. Shout out to Eli. Shout out to Micah. Shout out to Kyle Alvarez, our director. Let me tell you what. Yeah. The director sets the tone. And when I tell you that Kyle is one of the kindest souls that I've ever met, outside of being like extremely talented, he's such a kind soul. In terms of experiences with the cast, with the crew, I hadn't experienced anything like this.
I couldn't agree more. The director sets the tone, but also I'm going to give shout outs to, I know y'all are humble beings, but shout outs to all of you because you also help in setting that tone. So I cannot wait for the rest of the fans to see everything that you guys brought to the screen. Speaking of fan, we have some fan questions directly from the fans, from all of you. The first one is this new season still going with the Homecoming podcast, or is it a completely new direction?
Oh, it's completely different.
Yeah, it's different.
What is Janelle's favorite thing about Jackie?
I love that she's a chameleon. She's a chameleon. You know, I love the mystery behind her. I love how smart she is. She's very smart. If you think you've figured her out, she's like 5 steps ahead of you.
Now, Hong, I feel bad because I feel like every question I ask you is trying to extract some secret from the show and you're having to teeter this line. And alas, this question is doing exactly that. Fan question to you is, what will we learn more about the Geist organization?
Ooh, we will learn a lot about the Geist Corporation through Chris Cooper's character, because so often corporations don't have a face. There's no figurehead that you can point to and say, you know, that's the person who's running things. And in our case, we actually do. We have Leonard Geist. And so it's a really interesting thing to get to talk to the person at the head of such a force in the world. So what we learn is that sometimes corporations do try to do the right thing.
Was not expecting that answer, I won't lie, but that was incredible. Chris, who here on the screen is most like their character, in your opinion?
I think it would be Stephan. from what I've observed in the time that I spent with him and watching him in the earliest season, I think, as he said, he loves the development of what his, the expansion of his character. We learn more about him, and I respect his searching for answers. And I think Stephan is a searcher.
Stephan, what do you think?
I think you hit the nail on the donkey right there. I love it.
Now, stepping into the role of your characters for a second, so forget who you are in real life, talking solely from the perspective of your characters, what do you think is each of your characters' motivations in the story? So if you had to summarize, my character does what they do for this reason, what would it be?
My character, Leonard Geist, started out initially to do good, to work honestly, to sell a good product, and do the right thing. He came up from that era of lessons learned from the 60s and the Vietnam War that he's initially volunteered for and became so disheartened by the war. He changed his life. He wanted simplicity. He wanted to do hard work. He wanted to get his hands dirty. He wanted to do the right thing.
What about your character?
My character actually says this at one point during the show. She says she wants to matter.
I'm going to change that to my Instagram bio right now. Stephan, what about your character?
Yeah, if I'm speaking to to his motivation, I would just say you're dealing with a dogged, determined Walter, and a man who's on a quest for the truth. And I think that he's unwilling to listen to anyone else's version of that truth. He needs to figure it out for himself.
Finally, Janelle, Jackie's motivation.
Yeah, my character wants answers. My character wants the truth.
And we all do in season 2, as we're going to watch. As a reminder, if you're tuning in, that you do not need to watch season 1 to understand season 2 is a new mystery. It is a new unraveling. Thank you so much for chatting. I'm sure, just like myself, fans at home are so excited to dive in here. Janelle, I'm so excited to see this new mystery and all the amazing stuff all of you do. But Janelle, I was going to say, is there anything you cannot do? My girl, you can do everything, and it would not be a true party for me or Janelle if we didn't have a little DJ turn up. Plus, I mean, I think we all deserve another drink or 2, right? Well, since we need another drink or 3 or 7, let's check out Cocktail Man to see what else we can cook up.
Yes.
Hey, you guys, welcome back. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm super excited about season 2.
Yes, and the cocktails with season 2 are a perfect pairing.
That's right. So our second cocktail to get us into the party part of the night, this cocktail is called Titanic Rising. And we took a couple of ingredients and some pointers for some of the episodes. Starting it off with pineapple juice, just like in that episode when they're talking about all of the pineapple cobbler and all that good stuff. We wanted to incorporate some of that. Mm-hmm. So we're using 1 ounce of pineapple juice.
We are also using hibiscus tea. We actually steeped a little bit last night so that we can have some fresh, unsweetened tea for this cocktail.
Next ingredient is going to be some more of that lime juice. We're going to use a ½ ounce of lime, and that's going to help us add some brightness, add some more tart and citrus to the cocktail, and really add some balance to everything.
Then we are adding some elderflower liqueur. We're going to do 1 ounce of that.
Ooh.
Get some yummy elderflower notes.
Yes, and our last ingredient is going to be tequila. We love tequila. We think women, our bodies really react to tequila and cocktail that stimulates you, especially a good reposado that's been aged for at least 2 months in some oak barrels.
Yeah.
We're using 1 ounce of this tequila. So now we have all those ingredients in it. We're going to add some ice to our shaker, secure that lid, and now is the fun part.
We're going to shake.
Yay! Shake it out. Now. Okay, now we got the cocktail good and shake.
Yes.
Now we're going to prepare a glass. We're using a rocks glass for this. And our garnish, because like Nika said, you got to dress your cocktail. So we're just using some pineapple, little circles. You take that slice and you insert it into your glass, just like that. It's super easy. Then you add the ice to the glass, just like that.
I'm gonna open this bad boy up.
Take the lid off like this, and it's gonna strain all that good cocktail mixture right into your glass for you. If you can't, look at that beautiful color. It kind of reminds me of something from Homecoming. That medicine, you add a little straw in that guy.
Exactly.
Those berries, that's right. And cheers.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers. Cheers, everyone.
Incredible. And that presentation, I am hooked. Great job. Great job.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Lily.
Appreciate that.
You know what? Let me go get changed.
Oh.
Because DJ Django Jane has a different, look. And I'm going to have another drink, and we are going to get right to that.
His change is ready to go. I cannot wait to break it down right now. Let's hear you on the turntables, girl. Give it to us.
I'm back. Hi, Lily. Okay, so I had to get changed, and I'm super excited about DJing this set. What I did was I watched the season 2 of Homecoming, which is out right now. Everybody go download, please. And one of the things that I noticed is that this season has some of the strongest women leading it. From Hong to Joan Cusack to my characters, I just feel like the women shine. Everybody shines. The women, though, the way they work with each other, work against each other. I don't want to give away too many secrets, but it really made me get inspired. And I wanted to put together all of the women, songs from women that I'm inspired by, songs from women that have helped me, as we live in this patriarchal society. So this set is dedicated to the women in Homecoming and all around who are watching this. Everybody can listen and enjoy it, but we celebrate the women tonight. So let's get into it. I am DJ Django Jane.
This is a man's world. This is a man's world. But it wouldn't be nothing without a woman or a girl. Said one more time. This is a man's world. This is a man's world. But it wouldn't be nothing without a woman or a girl.
Girls, we run this mother. Yeah. Girls, we run this mother. Yeah. Girls, we run this mother. Yeah. Girls, we run this mother. Girls, who run the world? Girls, who run the world? Girls, who run
Let's
the
go!
world? Boy, don't even try to touch this. Boy, this beat is crazy. This is
Cool out, cool out.
In this bitch, Missy poppin' out the sunroof. I got about 100 coops, shooters with me, 100 troops. Got 100 bands going ham. We don't give a damn. We go up and down, round and round like a ceiling fan. 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 Round like a ceiling fan.
Cool out.
Cool out, 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 cool out. Break up, sweat, make up, lose control. Ain't no AC going hard. Tempo 44, feel like Jay-Z. 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 Do it, 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 do it. Cool out, cool out, cool out, cool out, cool out. Why men great till they gotta be great? Woo. I just took a DNA test, turns out
I'm 100% that.
Even when I'm crying crazy, yeah, I got boy problems, that's the human in me. Bling bling, then I solve them, that's the goddess.
Let's go!
Bad bitch, not committal. Help you with your career, just a little. You're supposed to hold me down, but you're holding me back, and that's the sound of me not calling you back. Why men great till they gotta be great? Don't text me, tell it straight to my face. Best friend set me down in the salon chair. Shampoo press, get you out of my hair. Fresh photos with the bomb lighting. New man on the Minnesota Vikings. True hurts needed something more exciting. Bum, bum, dum, dum, bum, you trying to break my heart? Oh, that breaks my heart. That you thought you ever had it, no, you ain't from the start. Hey, I'm glad you're back with your bitch. I mean, who would wanna hide this? I will never, ever, 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 ever be your side chick. I put the singing single. Ain't worried about a ring on my finger. So you can tell your friend, shoot your shot when you see him. It's okay, he already in my DM.
Let's go!
Why men great till they gotta be great? Don't text me, tell it straight to my face. Best friend set me down in the salon chair. Shampoo press, get you out of my hair. Fresh photos with the bomb lighting. New man on the Minnesota Vikings. True hurts needed something more exciting. I'm bossy. I'm the first girl to scream on the track. I switched up the beat of the drum. That's right. I brought all the boys to the yard, and that's right. I'm the one that's tattooed on his arm. I'm bossy. I'm the bitch y'all love to hate. I'm the chick that's raised the stakes. I told young Stunner he should switch to 8. I'm back with an 808, cause I'm bossy. Ooh, let me slow it down so you can catch the flow. Screw it up, make it go extra slow. Real girls get down on the floor. On the floor, get down on the floor. Ooh, I gave you a taste, you want some more. Touchdown, want me throw it up like a pro. I ride the beat like a bicycle, I'm icicle. Ooh, I'm the 6'4" hoppers up in Crenshaw. The money making players up in Harlem, don't want no problems. We gon' keep it pumping with a fadeaway that's jumping. Diamonds on my neck, got diamonds on my grill. Diamonds on my neck, got diamonds on my grill. I'm bossy, I'm the first girl to scream on the track. I switched up the beat of the drum. That's right, I brought all the boys to the yard, and that's right. I'm the one that's tattooed on his arm. I'm bossy. I'm the bitch y'all love to hate. I'm the chick that's raised the stakes. I told young Stunner he should switch to 8. I'm back with an 808, cause I'm bossy. Ooh, but you never heard this before.
Baby, want no smoke with me? Been turn this motherfucker up 800 degrees. Whole team eat chefs cause she's a treat. Ooh, she's so bougie, on appetite.
I'm a savage, attitude nasty. Talk big shit, but my bank account match it. Hood, but I'm classy. Rich, but I'm ratchet. Haters kept my name in their mouth, now they gagging.
Hey!
Bougie. He say the way that thing move, it's a movie. I told that boy we gotta keep it lowly, me the room key. I done bled the block and now it's hot, bitch, I'm Tunchi. I'm mood and I'm moody. I'm a savage. Classy, bougie, ratchet. Sassy, moody, nasty. Acting stupid, what's happening? What's happening? Bitch, I'm a savage. Classy, bougie, ratchet. Sassy,
all right.
moody, nasty.
start her OnlyFans. Big B and that B stand for bands. If you wanna see some real ass, baby, here's your chance. I say left cheek, right cheek, drop it low and swing. Texas up in this thing, put you up on this game. I be parking my frame, gang, 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 gang. If you don't jump to put jeans on, baby, you don't feel my pain. Please don't give me hype, write my name in ice. Can't argue with these lazy bitches, I just raise my price. I'm a boss, I'm a leader. I pull up in my two-seater and my mama was a savage. Nigga got this shit from Tina, I'm a savage, yeah.
Classy, bougie, ratchet, yeah. Sassy, moody, nasty, yeah. Acting stupid, what's happening, what's happening, what's happening.
Funny how money changes situation. Funny how money changes. Funny how money changes. Funny how money changes situation. Miscommunication lead to complication. My emancipation don't fit your equation. I was on the humble, you on every station. Someone play young Lauren like she done. But remember not to game new under the sun. Everything you did has already been done. I know all the tricks from bricks to Kingston. My ting done major kingdom one wrong. Now understand L Boogie not violent. But if a thing test me, run for me gun. Can't take a threat to me newborn son. L been this way since creation. A groupie call you far from temptation. Now you on ball over separation. Tarnish my image in the conversation. Who you gon' scrimmage like you the champion? You might win some, but you just lost one. You might win some, but you just lost one. You might win some, but you just lost one. You might win some, but you just lost one. You might win some, but you just lost one. Now, how come your talk turn cold? Gain the whole world for the price of your soul. Trying to grab hold of what you can't control. Now you off lost with a sight to behold. Wisdom is better than silver and gold. I was hopeless, now I'm on hope roll. Every man wanna act like he's exempt. Need to get down on his knees and repent. Can't slick talk on the day of judgment. The movement's similar to a serpent. Try to play straight, how your whole style been. Consequences, no coincidence. Hypocrites always wanna play innocent.
Real ass bitch, give a fuck about a nigga. Big Birkin bag, hold 5-6 figures. Stripes on my ass, so he call his pussy tigger. Fucking on a scamming ass, rich ass nigga.
Same group of bitches, ain't no ass to the picture. Drop a couple racks, watch his ass get bigger. Drinking on licking, I'm looking at your nigga. If it's money right, he can eat it like a snicker.
I ain't got time for you fake ass hoes.
If you're just tuning in, we honoring women, badass women. Homecoming 2 season. Homecoming season 2 is out right now.
It's your Miami and I can't run my sack up.
And I'm DJ Jingle.
Brand new chain city girls going platinum. I keep a baby Glock. I ain't fighting with no random.
Period.
You bitches weak, is you serious? I let him taste the pussy, now he acting all delirious. Did it dash, she didn't rubber like his face is furious. You see my number in his phone, now you acting curious. He gon' buy me Gucci if I ask for it. He a crazy nigga walking tongue for it. I bet your little sister wanna look like me. I bet your little brother wanna fuck on me. Hood bitch, good pussy, I ain't average. He can't come around without that cabbage. Pop a pussy bitch quick like a bubble gum. I ain't never worry, I just deal with it for fun.
Act up, you could get smashed up. Act up, you could get smashed up. Act up, you could get snatched up. Dirty ass, baby girl, you need to back. JT on the track, and you know I'm by my paper. Pussy sweet, pussy tight, so he called a lifesaver. If your ass a broke nigga, hell nah, I can't date you. If your ass a rich nigga, I'ma fuck you till you ain't one. If that nigga scammer, I'm turning to a dancer. I make it clap like he got the right answer. Sit on it with manners, get it harder than a hammer. He want a freak, pussy pink, breast cancer. Oh, you like big butts, well I like big butts. I don't care about your chain, nigga, or your big truck. Yeah, I know you getting it, but if you spinning it, give a fuck, give a fuck, what it up, what it up, what it up.
Yeah, yo. Yeah, yo. Moon la la. Yeah, yo. Bitch better have my money. Y'all should know me well enough. Bitch better have my money. Please don't call me on my blood. Pay me what you want it. Ballin' bigger than LeBron. Bitch, give me your money. Who y'all think y'all frontin' on? Like blah, blah, blah. Louis 13 and it's all on me, nigga, you just bought a shot.
like blah, blah, blah. Pay me what you want it. Don't act like you forgot. Bitch, better have my money. Bitch, better have my money. Pay me what you want it. Bitch, better have my. Bitch, better have my. Bitch, better have my money. Up to Rihanna while the whole club fucking wasted. Every time I drop, I am the only thing y'all playing. In a drop top, do 100, y'all in my rearview mirror racing. Where y'all at? Where y'all at? Where y'all at? Like blah, blah, blah. Louis 13 and it's all on me, nigga, you just bought a shot. Kamikaze, if you think that you gon' knock me off the top. Shit, your wife in the backseat of my brand new foreign car. Don't act like you forgot. I called a shot, 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 shot. I can't believe all of the things they say about me. Walk in the room, they throwing shade left to right. I can't believe.
We gotta run that one back. Shout out to my 20 Erykah Badu. This was a moment for women. Hey.
I can't believe all of the things they say about me. Walk in the room, they throwing shade left to right. They be like, ooh, she's serving face. And I just tell them, cut me up and get down. They call us dirty cause we break all your rules down. And we just came to act a fool, is that alright? Girl, that's alright. They be like, ooh, let them eat cake. But we eat wang and throw them bones on the ground. Am I a freak? Am I more than a freak? Sit round, quit. Am I a freak? Don't forget to sit down. I cut teeth up, don't cut me down. And yeah, I wanna be. Is it peculiar that she twerk in the mirror? And am I weird to dance alone late at night? And is it true we're all insane? And I just tell them no we ain't and get down. I heard this life is just a play with no rehearsal. I wonder will this be my final act tonight? And tell me what's the price of fame? Am I a sinner with my skirt on the ground? Am I a freak? Forget, am I a freak? Am I a freak? Forget, teach down. I cut teeth up, don't cut me down. Judge me now. And yeah, I wanna be. Come on. Hey brother, can you save my soul from the devil? Say, is it weird to like the way she wear her tights? But I have to charge.
The thing that makes me what the guys go crazy for. They lose their minds the way I whine. I think it's time. La 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 la. Warm it up. La 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 la. The boys are waiting. La 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 la. Warm it up. La 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 la. The boys are waiting.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours. Damn right, it's better than yours. I could teach you, but I have to charge. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours. Damn right, it's better than yours. I could teach you, but I have to
See
charge.
you're on it. You want me to teach thee techniques that freaks these boys. It can't be bought. Just know thieves get caught. Watch if you're smart. La 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 la. Warm it up. La 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 la. The boys are waiting. La 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 la. Warm it up. La 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 la. The boys are waiting.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours. Damn right, it's better than yours. I could teach you.
I could do to make
Shout out to Doja Cat.
Why don't you say so?
Woo!
Didn't even notice, no punches that to roll with. You got to keep your focus. You wanna say so? It's been a long time since you feeling alive. You ain't coming out yourself. You ain't really think yourself. Tell me what must I do? Damn my life. 'Cause luckily I'm good at breathing. I wouldn't fuck him any more 'cause I'm cheesing. And we can dance all day around it. If you frontin', I'll be bouncing. If you want it, screaming, shout it, babe. Before I leave you dry, day and night and morning, keeping me in the moment. I that you had known it. Why don't you say so? Didn't even notice, no punches that to roll with. You got to keep your focus. You wanna say so? Day and night and morning, keeping me in the moment. I that you had known it. Why don't you say so?
This my shit. All the girls stomp your feet like this. Few times I've been around that track, so it's not just gonna happen like that. 'Cause there ain't no holler back, girl. Ain't no holler back, girl.
Let's
Few
go!
times I've been around that track, so it's not just gonna happen like that. 'Cause there ain't no holler back, girl. Ain't no holler back, girl.
It's my shit. 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 It's my shit.
I heard that you were talking shit and you didn't think that I would hear it. People hear you talking like that, getting everybody fired up. So I'm ready to attack, gonna lead the pack, gonna get a touchdown, gonna take you out. That's right, put your pom-poms down, getting everybody fired up. Few times I've been around that track, so it's not just gonna happen like that. 'Cause there ain't no holler back, girl. Ain't no holler back, girl. Few times I've been around that track, so it's not just gonna happen like that. 'Cause there ain't no holler back, girl. Ain't no holler back, girl.
It's my shit. 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 It's my shit.
Woo! All right. Now, I know this is about women, but we have an honorary person that I wanted to put on this list. And this was a champion of a lot of women and a great mentor and friend to me. And everything we're going through in the world, I feel like this song is so appropriate. So just remember, guys, watch Homecoming, season 2, out everywhere. Thank you to the amazing cast. Thank you, Lilly, for being an incredible host. Download it on Amazon Prime right now. It's available. And we're going to close out on one of my heroes.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through this thing called life. Electric word, life, it means forever, and that's a mighty long time. But I'm here to tell you, there's something else. The afterworld. A world of never-ending happiness. You can always see the sun, day or night. So when you call up that shrink in Beverly Hills, you know the one. Doctor, everything will be alright. Instead of asking how much of your time is left, ask him how much of your
If you're watching this, I want you to dance off the anxiety. I want you to dance off. Yeah, woo! And if the elevator tries to break you down, go crazy. Punch a higher floor. At least you got friends. Come on, lady. for a friendly word. She picked up the phone.